The time has come for lions to tell our own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Ras Tafari hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Ras Tafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, Look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress men in bless. Yeah man, Haile from St. Croix, Rastafari, Haile. Love,
Aye.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, ya. Them fully guard up and them quick fi execute, ya. Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, ya. The one will laugh, I'm same one of the shooter. Watching them, this is Rasta Jai representing for the Lion Voice Network. This is the time when the lion gets to tell our own story. Haile Selassie.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Greetings, this is Shiloh. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir. Shiloh said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Alright, so continuing on with family, we're going to talk about the drums right now. The bass drum is the foundation. It gives off that frequency. It encompasses and surrounds and keeps the idea within a one place. It's always on the one. One sound, one mute. Alright, very important.
The more aware you are of yourself, the more you come to know yourself, the more mindful you are, okay, is the more skilled you become at using this powerful engine, which is your mind.
And then the resolution is like just finishing up the lessons now and just saying yes, and reminding people of the theme of your story. So, you know, the theme of this story was the importance of agriculture.
For the motherland, cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders whom we can learn much, for the youth who represent our promise for tomorrow, for the people, the original people, for the struggle and remembrance of those who struggled on our behalf, for Umoja, the principle of unity that guides us in all we do, for the Creator who created all the things great and small. We give thanks.
Let's go through the principles. The first one, blessed love and greetings. Welcome to day 5, our last day of camp. That's sad, right? Too short. Just when I started to have fun, it's over. But it's been fun, and we'll do this again next year, most definitely. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and stay connected after camp.
Government is trapping the system.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what more could I eat right now?
What about a city samosa? Get your samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican, and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Ras Tafari!
Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Ras Tafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, solar energy that them a see. The whole city powered by the sun's energy. The road them make out of hemp and concrete. Neighborhoods full of fruit trees that taste sweet. The youths put down them guns, them harvest and a reap. The beautiful gardens will line every street. Tired of the bloodshed, them done with the beef. Not even animals for that, them burn out the meat. Where people say Haile Selassie, I see Nile. When they see say him a treat the dirt like a child. Peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. See say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Iron, lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plant fish, shed blood, we got plans for the soil. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Ras Tafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. No more gullies, proper sanitation. Proper toilets with proper filtration. Clean water for the youths them fi use. Our sons and daughters safe, no more child abuse. Africa arise, read it in the news. On the day when Rastafari ready, wicked have he move. 3D printing alongside hem shoes. Herb get legalized, hard drugs them get refused. Well, people used to say they bring him man senile. True himself he tried it with man, woman and child. Himself peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we give him thanks in. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Voice Live. Welcome to Lion Voice Live, and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight, we have a special exclusive broadcast. One of the reasons that I created this platform is because I wanted a platform where the lions can tell our own story, can control our own narrative. So when major news, major things, hit the airwaves, we can hear directly from those who are involved with those works, instead of a narrative goes out there and we waste a lot of time murmuring and all kind of things are taking place, and we don't know the facts, we don't know the history of what we're talking about. We just see some images and a narrative goes out there. So I know the narrative because I keep involved and I reason with the ones them through I network, but a lot of ones don't know what's happening. What am I talking about? Some people are wondering, what am I talking about? I'm talking about pictures that hit the JIS website, social media, across, the Jamaica government grant land to Rastafari, big things, the media outlets are running with it. And again, this shows us the importance of Rastafari independent, non-aligned media, because where is the news source that we can turn to when we want to hear from what really are going? We don't just want to take that what's out there. Well, family, we are building it in front of your eyes. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network. If you're not part of the uprising, the historic and the meteoric uprising of this platform, welcome. This is the fastest growing Rastafari platform on the planet, and I have to take time before we welcome our guests, which will be the Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society, the organization that was the recipient of the land. So we're going to hear directly from the recipients of the land, plan for the land, the history of this whole process. We're going to the root. That no hearsay, he said, she said thing there. We burn them something there right now. This is why we are rising in the earth. It's a new day. Divide and rule is not going to work anymore because the entity is sweeping. It's a sweeping tide. His Majesty said the tide that's sweeping Africa cannot be stayed. No force on earth is great enough to halt or reverse the trend. Its march is as relentless and it's inexorable as the passage of time. So what do I them think? You think the Sahel countries would have come together, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger? You think all of these countries would have united? You think Rastafari would have quiet? You think we wouldn't get our act together and come together? You don't know I and I, family. This is I and I time, and we are rising to meet the moment and to match the material to the spiritual and the heretical, and the basis of wealth is land. So we're going to talk about the whole land issue because we have a lot more to be done. Most of our Rastafari lands in Jamaica don't have clear title. This is a scratch on the surface of a larger issue. So tonight, family, is one of those episodes, instant classic. We're going deep. We're going to be going into current news, current events. This will be shared hundreds of times. So we give thanks. Again, big up to the greatest online community on the planet, the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. Big up on yourself. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. Trust me, the item have been great, and we give thanks for the item and the strength
We are currently trying to get to 50 people in the Patreon. We are the official sponsors of the Association of Rastafari Creatives Youth Virtual Summer Camp. This channel and our Patreon, we're giving a monetary contribution to the Youth Summer Camp. And when we hit 50 people in our Patreon, we're at about 35 right now, 36. We fluctuate. When we hit 50 people, we're going to start voting on every month. We're going to try to select a different Rastafari works so we can give a contribution on behalf of the network. So we're building our network. We're building this platform as a force of change, of uprising. It's not just the reasoning. We're going to use the reasoning and the community that we form here to power the work. I don't know if the item know the power that media can have, but we're going to harness its potent potential for the manifestation of Zion on earth. That is the mandate, you know what I mean, that was given from Kadamawi Haile Selassie the first. So we're answering the call right now. Big up the Ubuntu Lion Pride. We're at 10 members. These are lifetime contributors. Right now it's $100 gets you a place as a lifetime contributor one time. These brethren and sisters and families and businesses have immortalized themselves with the uprising of this platform. So big up on yourself. All Ubuntu will put up the information for ones who want to become a part of our Ubuntu. And some people can do the monthly vibration. Now we overstand that, you know what I mean? But this is something nice where you can still give us strength and immortalize yourself with the platform. We're at 10 members. We want to get this to 50 as well. So global family, Mecca and I fund the revolution. Mecca and I fund the uprising. No one is coming to save us. They them know I said that. So if we don't fund our own media, then again, we're going to be depending on third parties to shape the narrative of our community. And I have the faith that Rastafari power we haven't even scratched the surface of the power of Kadamawi Haile Selassie I. I stand on that, and I'm here as a servant for show the ones them, perseverance, patience, what we can manifest. So big up all of the sponsors, everyone making the ecosystem possible. We are here once again making history. Big up Frontline Books, big up Ramia King Designs, big up Brother Carl Philpotts, big up Wally King's Graphics and Designs. All of our sponsors, make sure you support them. Let's circulate the Rastafari and Pan-African dollar. This is not just about this platform. This is about us creating our own ecosystem. This is about sovereignty in its truest sense, self-determination. You know what I mean? Being able to stand on our own 2 feet. And it takes that trust and it takes that investment in each other. So big up all of the sponsors, big up everyone who's been supporting the sponsors and making it worldwide. All right, family, housekeeping out of the way. Let us now welcome our guests. We are going to Montego Bay today, St. James, the parish of St. James, to welcome some members of the RCBGS Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society. Will get the explanation, the history. You've seen Sister Nanny on this platform before. So you're those who have been long-time watchers of the platform will be familiar with Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society. But now we have different members. This is not just a one-person show. This is a board. This is a executive working on behalf of the Rastafari community. So we are giving thanks. Now I'm going to introduce our guests. I'm going to ask all my guests to make sure their cameras are on, get into position. I'm going to welcome to the stage Ras Brown and Ras Gregory and My sister Rose, royalty. Sister Rose, can you put your camera like this?
My camera like this.
Yes. And then you might have to swipe auto rotate at the top there, so your picture fills the frame. You might have to swipe down the top and put auto rotate. If it's is it a Samsung?
Hello, I am not very savvy on these things. You know.
Okay, we make us work with it then. How it was. Just put
That's
it out.
good.
No, it's sideways. Can you swipe the top and put rotate, auto rotate, or put it down? It was. Don't worry.
I don't know. I don't even know where that pink thing coming from.
We're working it out. This is a history, so you know that we are not Russians here. We are Ethiopians. You know what I mean? There's no rush. With there, we are bubbly sip. Mama fix up the phone, nice up the plates, get your meditation ready, coming up highest region. Yes, just work. We work with it right. That's all. We'll work with that. Right. That's all. No. Okay. Okay, we're working it out, family. If you're just joining us, we have the Ras Tafari Coal Garden Benevolent Society here. We're going to talk about land that was granted. It's all over the internet. Rastafari given land. Right, that's all, Sister Rose. Just stabilize it. Yes, right there. Just stabilize it. Okay, I don't know why it's...
I don't know. Oh man.
Can you put it like this? And just hold it straight then. Just hold it straight like this. Because yes, just give it yes. Ah yeah, bingy. See it there? We work with it. Family, patience gets the victory. We don't panic around here, you know. We just do what we have to do, make it nice. We're trying to have the best experience for everyone. All right, so I'm gonna ask our guests to introduce themselves. We're gonna start with the dreadful one. We go to the beautiful Sister Rose, and then we seal up with Ras Brown. So, Ras Gregory, the chair. Please introduce thyself. Okay, hold on. You have to unmute. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Talk now. We're not hearing the eye. Unmute.
So.
Yes, that is better. Go ahead. Introduction.
Good night. Yeah, hear the one them. My name is Gregory Taylor, and I am the chair of the RCGBS, the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society. I am an educator. I teach and I lecture. IT. All right. So that is my introduction.
Give thanks. Royal blessings. We're gonna go to the eye, Sister Rose. If the eye can just introduce the eye self.
Haile, greetings in the name of Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Meninai. I am Sister Rosemary Logan, and I am Vice Chair of the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society, and that's why I'm here, as in that capacity. And so that's the work. That's what I'm about at this time.
Give thanks. Perfect love and strength. And now we go to the great Ras Brown. Introduce thyself, please, Ras Brown.
Yes, my brother. Can you hear me, right?
Yes,
right? All right. I greet you in the name of His Majesty Emperor Selassie I first. Blessing and honor to the Most High. Blessing and honor to the listeners. My name is Ras Brown, Louis Brown, otherwise known in Babylon. I'm the treasurer of the Ras Tafari Cargan Benevolent Society. I'm also a proprietor, owner, and operator of Brown Dry Cleaning Laundry in Montego Bay, and I've been a businessman all my life. Respect and honor.
Respect and honor. Respect and honor. We're getting a little bit of feed forward. It's not terrible, so we'll work with it. All right, so I want to start by laying a foundation. Here, I want to have all of the items here individually so we can go into your story. We have a time machine segment and we go into your story. But tonight we're going to stick to this land that was granted. But before we get into that, I want to get a history of the Rastafari Coal Garden Benevolent Society. I think Ras Brown, the eye is the best one that is suited. Can you just give ones a brief history? What is the Rastafari Coal Garden Benevolent Society and what is some of the history?
The Rastafari Cargan Benevolent Society. It started out with a small group of brethren who listened to the elders that went through the atrocity in Carl Gardens in 19. Brethren then listened to the elders. They decided to form a group named the Carl Gardens Committee. And those brethren used to have regular function at amphitheater. A lot of history surrounding the amphitheater in Montego Bay in the 1990s, and we would lobby and hear the testimony of the elders that went through the atrocity, and would group their testimony together and decide that we would lobby the government in respect of the atrocity that the brethren had gone through. Because one of the things about it is that the history is hidden, and the politicians, them, as you know, them try their best to hide this history. But we don't see totally as a history, we see it as an atrocity that takes place in 1963. So as to get rid of the community, Rastafari was hailing His Majesty. So out of that atrocity, I don't want to get too much in the issue because it would take so much time. But in a short episode, Bustamante came down Montego Bay because of an incident in Carl Gardens. And so must bring in our Rasta, dead or alive. And that circulated throughout the island. Rasta were captured and beaten, some murdered. And it went on for a long while. Some of them were in prison and all of that. So we hear the testimony of the elders and realize that we should not leave it like this. So we have been lobbying and agitating for years now, from one government to another government. And in 2013, we decided to change it from Carl Gardens Committee to, we decided to put our Rastafari in it because, as you know, there is a community that named Carl Gardens. And we didn't want to intertwine with the Carl Gardens community where that is just a neighborhood. We want to highlight it as an atrocity. So we put on the Rastafari and it was the Rastafari Carl Gardens Committee. And that did consist of a lot of brethren before I was on board. We always helped, but we have man like Tuna Manning, we have man like and we have Ras Ike.
Yes, big up Ras Ike.
Yeah, we have Bongo Manny. And we
big
have
up Bongo Manny. Yes,
so much brethren that has been lobbying for years.
Yeah, man.
And the Carl Gardens, the Rastafari Carl Gardens was formed in 2013.
Okay.
And I came on board along with a new chairman. We decided to get the register. So we registered in 2015 and we become the Rastafari Carl Gardens Benevolent Society. So we take on a new way forward. And we still agitate, still keeping up the works that the president them before us was doing.
Yes.
With that, in 2016, we signed this piece of land because we want office space, and we decide that we need elders for the bridging them because they were suffering.
Yes.
So we signed this piece of land and we put it to Dr. Chang because Dr. Chang was the member of parliament in Montego Bay at that time.
Okay. Hold on, stick a pin. Is it possible for you to use a phone because the feedback, we're getting some feedback when they are reason, you know? Is it possible for you to?
What if the mic is too loud?
I'm not sure, but
I can turn it down and you tell me if it's better.
yeah, we're getting feed forward, and I want to. What you're saying is so crucial.
Can you hear me a little better now?
Yes. Can you go on Nakima Brown's phone? Do you have access to her line?
No, she's at a different area.
Okay.
What's sound now?
It's still giving a little bit of feedback, you know.
Giving a little feedback.
Yeah, yeah. Are the item hearing the feedback as well? Sister Rose and Ras Gregory, are you hearing him clear?
I'm hearing feedback on my end.
Are you hearing him clear? I'm hearing the item clear, but I'm hearing feedback from Ras Brown.
I'm hearing a little bit of feedback from Ras Brown too.
You get a little feedback there?
Yeah, when you speak, yeah.
So now.
Do you have a phone? Can you try to sign in on a phone?
All right, like I say.
All right, we're gonna sort it out, and in the meantime, I want to just hear from the eye. Hold on there. Just sort out Ras Brown, and we bring the eye forward. From Ras Gregory, in terms of the interaction with the government, there was a history in terms of a reparation fee. Sister Rose, feel free to jump in as well. Can you just catch up ones in terms of the history of the advocacy of the Coral Garden Benevolent Society as it relates to the Jamaica government and what that relationship is like? Sister Rose, you want to jump in there?
All right. Okay. So, the Coral Garden Benevolent Society agitated the government. We did marches. We went to march in Kingston, and our last march was in June of 2016. And we presented to the government a 13-point list of demands. And to date, out of the 13-point list of demands, the first one was for the state to acknowledge the atrocities that the government did with the Coral Gardens incident in 1963, which they did. They acknowledged it and they apologized. An apology was meted out. I would put it that way. An apology was meted out. And also one of the things that we agitated was cash compensation to the victims of and their families of the Coral Gardens atrocities. And that also was done that year, where there was a cash compensation order to be paid to the victims of the atrocities, and that the government agreed to. They went through the whole process, and I think at the time it was 12 million. Ras Brown, you can correct me on that. that was set forward. It wasn't under. It was not supposed to go under 12 million in
It
terms
was
of
12 initially.
to the survivors. Yeah. And that compensation was paid out, and it was managed by it was a trust fund that was set up and was managed by Ras. It was not managed by the bottom line. It was not managed by us, the Benevolent Society, and I want to put that forward. And the reason I want to put that forward is because we have people in the Rastafari community who feel that the Benevolent Society got money. And I just want to clear that on the air. I have to do that because it's years they've been doing it and it pisses me off, and they need to stop doing it.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. Okay? I'm not as diplomatic as as Rats Bro. Right? But they need to stop doing it. And I need the Rastafari community to know the Benevolent Society don't receive any money from the government for the elders. And the elders were asked, the survivors were asked to pay a percentage, 5% of what they got to the Benevolent Society as somewhat like a management fee, because the
Yeah.
Benevolent Society don't have an income. Yes, they need to know we don't have an income, and we all
Yeah.
here doing the works of Jarastafari from our heart and in truth. Yeah.
Give thanks. Give
Um,
thanks.
how much of the elders, how much of the survivors pay is another matter, and that's another time. We won't get
Yes.
into that. It has passed.
Yes.
It is gone.
Yes. Yes.
But they got their money. The money was sent to them, whether them or their family. And think there were just a handful, if as much, Ras Brown, of elders who did not have the wherewithal to receive the funds that the Benevolent Society received the funds on their behalf and
Yes.
turned it over to them.
Okay.
Okay. That's one of the things that was done, and we, the government.
Very
Other thing that
important.
was done is that we advocated for an elderly care facility, because a lot of our elders, we felt, needed a facility, needed a nice place to, a comfortable place to age and to go through the rest of their life.
Yes.
And so the elderly care facility was approved, and a temporary home was established in Norwood. That went through, and it is still operating. Some of our elders were survivors were there. A couple of them have passed. Most of them have passed, and it is there. And what is good is that we were concerned. We are concerned about the continuum of the elderly care facility. As a group, we're very concerned about that, and we need it to stay. Yeah. Um. In what happened on um on Monday, I personally kind of felt a little comfortable because the government, Miss Grange, and Mr. Chan committed to continue to help us, to assist in the keeping of the elderly care facility.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the elderly care. Then the other thing was lands for the Albion lands, the Albion lots, where
Yes.
there would be a permanent home established for the
Yes.
elderly care facility, and that is what happened on Monday.
Give
We got
thanks.
these lands. This promise was made about 7 years ago. We
Wow.
have been agitating with letters, conversations. Ras Brown has been talking to the minister, the two ministers, Miss Grange and Mr. Dr. Chang, and it has come and happened. So
Okay.
we now have we had one of our coronation, one of our Bad Friday happenings, events took place there. Yes, and it
Yes.
was good. And the point is, we have now secured the lands where those lands are now going to be put in the name of the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society,
Okay.
which will hold with a permanent home for our elders, the elderly care facility for the elders of the Rastafari community. And initially, it was about the survivors, but the survivors have passed, and so it is for the community.
Yes. So
So
now
we
you're
look
being the 12
forward to
tribe, Bobo Shanti, everyone.
it's for the Rastafari community of St. James.
Is
And
it?
personally, I think that a facility like that should be in every parish.
Is
It should
it?
be in every parish or every county, because that's another thing that the Benevolent Society um, agitate for is lands for the Rastafari community in
Yes.
every county. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
that is one of the demands that have been put out. As I said, there's a 13 point,
Yes.
and one of them is lands in every county. And hopefully, with the lands that come in every county, then there would come a home in every
Yes.
county for Rastafari elders.
For the Rastafari
Yeah.
elders. Okay. Let's test out. Let's
And
test out Ross Brown. Stick a pin. I want to come forward today, but I want to test Ross Brown. Talk. Let me hear if your mic is working now.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah,
Can you
man. No,
can you hear me? Perfect. All right.
perfect. All right. Perfect. So you heard what Sister Rose was saying. What would you add to that, or what would you what other sounds would you use in conjunction with what Sister Rose said?
Well, listen to Sister Rosie. She mentioned the elders care facility.
Yes.
The elders care facility. That is one of our point put into the government, that the elders them need free health care and
Yes.
medication.
Yes.
So the government from 2020, we have opened up an elders care facility in Norwood, St. James.
Okay.
And at this time, we started out with 4 elders. 2 of them passed on, and we have 2 more there now. And the government has been funding this elders care facility from 2020 to present date. And we have about 7 staff there. We operate 24 hours. And we look to Albion, like I was saying, in 2016, we put it to Dr. Chang in respect to the land in Albion, that we would need that piece of land to set up an office and a permanent elders care facility. Because of, the bureaucracy that take place with lands and all of that, they were not able to let us have the land readily. But we know that it was government land. So we constantly agitating for the land. And in 2018, the Minister of Culture, Honorable Babsy Grange, decided to announce it in Parliament that they would give us the land. Now that's 7 years ago. And we are always constantly writing the government, reminding them of the land that they promised us. And from time to time, they would come and say something, and then it go. But what we normally do, we normally bush the land. As a matter of fact, we have 2021, We have our 60th commemoration there because we were hoping that at that time they would highlight it, knowing that it's our 60th commemoration, and they would just pass over the land. But it did not happen. That I said 2021 is 2023, and it did not happen. The 60th commemoration. So, in compiling what Sister Rosie said on Monday, a lot of criticism go out there in terms of saying that Rasta sell out, and Rasta this and Rasta that. But we accept what you say now, the counteraction. We accept what the Rastas are saying, but in turning the page and looking on the thing in a bright sense, the politicians, them at all time, they are looking a gateway to make their political pie look very acceptance with the Jamaican public or any country that politics run. That is how they operate, right?
Yes.
And in agitating for the land so much time, last year commemoration, Dr. Sean came there and make an announcement that we would get the land. Our commemoration take place in April, and he said he would make us get the land by June, July, based on their based on their budget speech.
Yes, yes.
And it did not happen. And it did not happen. And we came under a lot of criticism for that, because them said that the government promised us land and comfort. So now that it comfort, one should look at it in a brighter picture, knowing that the politicians, them, well, in plain Jamaican talk, they are using us to brighten their political goal. But we are also using them to brighten the Rastafari goal, because we have a greater picture and a greater thing to do with that piece of land. Because like I tell you, we want a permanent elders care facility there, because it's too lot of land,
Yes.
And that piece of land, it can do so much things for the Rastafari community.
Of course.
And it is Albion right on the front page there. And one of the things about it, we are not supposed to stay in darkness. We are supposed to come in the light.
Yes,
And now that we are on the front page with a piece of land, that the government, because they owe us that,
Yes.
And that is just one of the things they owe us, because we have a 13-point recommendation that we put to them, And they are doing it bit by bit. But at the same time, we want, the old government operate. Government does do things so. So we have to take it stage by stage. So long as we get an avenue to put ourselves forward, we are going to do it. So we understand the concern of the Rastafari community, but we are asking the Rastafari community to open their eyes and see a brighter picture. This land will no longer belong to the government, it belongs to the Rastafari community.
Yes.
And we might be here now, but sooner or later we might depart. And we need to leave things in such a structured way that the next generation can follow through.
Of course.
So we are not looking at things on a political level. We are looking at things that are growth for the Rastafari community.
Yes.
And this is how we're supposed to look at things. So I accept their concern, yes.
Yes, of course.
But we need to see things on a brighter way forward. And knowing that this belongs to the Rastafari community, and it's once the government sign off on it, because on Monday it was signed off on the government side, and now we are waiting the title from the Commission of Land, because people will sit around the table and see the signing things. That lady that you see beside us there was the Commission of Land.
Okay.
So it within their favor now to make us get the title in another 6 weeks. And with that title, we can do so much things. Because you know what it is. We as personal people on the land here, we know how important a title is. We can carry it to the bank and get loan. We can get grants. And a lot of grants is out there, but you have to show that you own the piece of land. So we are taking the thing forward. And that's where we are now. So we like the concern of the Rastafari community, but we don't sell out.
Yes.
We have been lobbying this from 1990s when the brethren them come to us and say, watch me, the government to us, and the government owes a lot more too.
So
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 this is
so
just
this
one
is
of the 13 points recommendation that was given to the government. And Sister Rosie mentioned something, I should touch on it too. One of our 13 points recommendation, yes, one of our 13 points recommendation was that the government was supposed to give us 100 acre in every county. Because we have Carver, Middlesex, and Surrey. So we are looking at 100 acre in every county. So the Rastafari can spread out. Same like how what we want to do, we want to create Rasta's village. Yes, we need Rasta village where we can do it one farm, we can have an elders care facility, and we can take care of ourselves. So, like I said, this is just one move. So there's more moves and more hurdles to climb. So we should not beat on this. What we are looking forward from the Rastafari community is to come on board. Yes, come on board because we need help. And or if a wish government is in power, we are still here, Rastafari Call God Benevolent Society. And we need them to go forward because in doing our thing, a lot of Rasta don't see the monetary part of
yes.
operation.
Yeah, man.
But we need finance.
Of
We need
course.
finance to carry out our works. And we need members too. So we
I
are
mean,
open for membership and we are open for growth. And that's where we are.
Ross Brown, we have two words that we like to use on the Lion Voice Network. Two words for this era of Rastafari, and that is budget and staff. And them reasoning that we have to have as a community, budget and staff, because we cannot run a nation on volunteer service. It's not sustainable.
Definitely so.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad to hear from there. I'm going to go to the
Yeah.
IRAS Gregory.
And I just speak about that. All of us are voluntary service. We
I
don't get
know,
paid.
and we want to change that. I have a heat to burn, Ross Brown. Give me some time for warm up. I have a heat for burn because we can't just be also depending on the government to fund these initiatives. I know the government has made promises, but how can we have tens of thousands of Rastafari in Jamaica and we sit down and wait upon government to fund, but yet every man have a money to buy a 500 bag of herb, a man have a money for move up and down and find where him have to find. So I have a heat to burn, that's why a lot of people don't like because I shouldn't even say that. They don't want to hear from I. But I have a heat to burn, but we're gonna get there. But I want to hear from Ras Gregory, as the youngest member of this esteemed committee. A lot of the controversy in the community came because of the timing of the grant, and Ross Brown touched on it. Sister Rose touched on it. We know that this year is an election year. For those who are not in Jamaica, we have a global audience. So this is why, because the first place I saw the announcement was on the JIS Instagram. So obviously it was put out immediately. Big things are going. Government love Rastafari. You know what I mean? That was the image being projected. How does the eye see the timing, and what do you say to the community that is looking at is this Coral Garden Benevolent Society endorsing the ruling party, or is the Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society non-aligned? How do you speak to timing and perception?
Okay, so first things first. The society is not aligned with any political party. We are simply in negotiations with the government. We've been in negotiations with the government, not just this year or the last 4 years, but as Ross Brown said, from in the 90s. And if you remember correctly, it was PAP in the 90s. So we are not partisan any at all. Now, the timing thing is a bit suspicious, yes. However, it also falls in a natural progression of things because when His Majesty's grandson came here a couple of years ago and came to the elder care facility, the mayor and a couple and Dr. Chang and some others were there, and at that function, they brought up to the fore and they said that they know of the lands that we want, and by such and such time we would get it. Now, if you know government, you know, say them tell you 3 weeks, it end up be 2 months. So, though it is, the timing is suspicious. I'm hearing some feedback. Though the timing is a bit suspicious, right? I'm not going to go around that. It is very suspicious, and yes, it could be said that it is being done for political mileage. That is not what I am saying. I am saying it could be that that is what they're doing. However, at the same time, even if that is the case, it falls in the natural order of things because we were promised to the point where, as Ras Brown said, we had 2 commemorations there, 2023 and 2024. And because of whatever fights we were getting, we could not have the commemoration there this year, right? So it is about time now that we finally got the land. And though it is not in our possession now, the fact that we signed the transfer documents and the transfer documents were witnessed, irrespective of which party comes into power now, these 2 pieces of land are now in the possession, are to be in the possession of the Rastafari Choral God's Benevolent Society. So yes, we're making some progress. Yes, the timing is suspicious, but a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, don't? And it's been a long time coming, as Otis Redding would have been saying.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time coming, yeah. And it's about time, because as Sister Rosie alluded to earlier, there are a lot of rumors going around, right, about the society. And because of rumors, we've seen some persons kind of distance themselves from the movement and distance themselves from the society. And now that this has happened, the ones that will finally see and will have to realize that we are not just all talk, we are get things done, right? And it is good that it was broadcast on social media so that it can't be said that we said.
Yes.
Yeah. And the delegation that went to the transfer document signing ceremony, that group of persons are some of the most influential and well-known persons in Montego Bay. So hopefully now the one they will get a true understanding and a true knowing of what really are going on.
Okay.
And will desist from the negative thing. And it is funny that there are so many persons having comments and all of these things. And the persons who have the comments are oftentimes not members,
Yes.
They're quick to complain and find fault, but not willing to lend a hand, right? Ras Brown said it earlier, say funding is one of our issues. Yes, it is.
Across the
Sister
board.
Rose, right across the board, right? You said it come down to 2 things. What you say? Staffing and budgeting.
Yes, I.
All right. We have issues with both.
Yeah, man, across the board.
Yeah.
Every Rastafari community facing the same challenge. And we cannot scale our operation until we confront these challenges.
Yeah, but Look at this though. In order for us to maintain our benevolent society status, we
Yes.
have to have a certain number of active members.
Yes.
And having come this far, we can't afford for the movement with a down and just go to the wind right now. So I'm appealing to all of the ones them who watching. You can contact us if you want to be members. And how membership is maintained is that after you register, you just pay your dues, and we from all right, to deviate a bit. From COVID time we were faced with that issue, because part of the requirements of remaining as a benevolent society that we have to have certain amount of members and meetings. And because of the whole COVID stay at home thing, we had to come up with ways where things like that, were they to happen again, would not stop us. So right now we are even lobbying the DCFS, which is the Department of Cooperatives and Credit Societies, so that online meetings can be viewed as actual meetings in the
Okay.
eyes of the government and the DCFS,
Yes.
right? Because the ones them can disagree with me, but oftentimes members of the Rastafarian faith don't have the cash wagga wagga like that. And if we can save a one of money from having to travel and you can just join a meeting online,
Yes.
it work out better, don't? So,
Technology.
yeah. So we are bringing the movement as modern as we can with whatever technology we have right now. So, Sister Rosie mentioned that membership, we need membership. Ras Brown mentioned funding, we need funds. Because Sister Rosie said that um, the commemoration is, she said that we don't have any funding. I wish to
Yeah.
correct that. We have one fundraising event, one main fundraising event for the year, and that is
Yes.
the commemoration.
Yes.
And we, in speaking of the commemoration, we have to give props and give respect to the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, because on a yearly basis they help us to fund and put on this event so that we can raise funds for the elder care facility.
Okay.
So we are not aligned with any party. However, I think it is fair to give the Labour Party props, even though them same one way instigate the arms house from day one. They
Yes.
are taking steps to correct them past wrongs. They are
Yes.
taking steps. Now, Ras Brown mentioned that we had submitted a 13-point recommendation to the government as part of our settlement package, so to speak. And
Yes.
they have they have achieved some of the we have achieved some of the 13 points, because
Yes.
the first one on the list was that the state should apologize to the survivors of the atrocities in 1963, though he did not do it face to face. In parliament he stood and he made an apology, and subsequent statements after that validate his statement in parliament. So we accept that as an apology. The second thing on the 13-point plan, 13-point recommendation, was that they should provide healthcare, free healthcare for the survivors. And they
Mhm.
have been doing that. As Ras
Yes.
Brown said earlier, and them fund the elder care facility, and them
Yes.
pay staff, and all of these things, right? So
Yes.
progress is slow, but it is progress none the same, right?
Yes,
Now
I.
we other recommendations. Well, I can send you a
I'm
13
I'm
point
I'm
recommendation.
I'm familiar with the 13 points, and I know those points were harmonized with the RMO into
Yes,
the a list of demandments. With so it's part of a larger document, comprehensive document that
For the
as we
Rastafari
create,
community.
yes, for the Rastafari community. So, but that is a pioneering document. It's a historic document, and it's definitely something that the community needs to be aware of and also to study. We have a question here, Sister Dawn. Big up yourself. Sister Dawn is saying, greetings. Are there no other elders in need of care to occupy the center, since there are now only 2 with a staff of 7 being paid? So, can anyone speak to that point?
All right, if I may.
Yes,
So
sir.
the question is it open to other elders?
Yes.
Now, this is something that we spoke on in one of our previous committee of management meetings. Now, Russ Brown, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a part of the a tricky part of
Yes,
the situation
there,
is that
there is room for more elders, you know. But
yes, there's room for more
like I said,
elders.
this is an apartment with only 2 bedrooms. And like I said, we did have 4 elders there. And 2 passed on. A matter of fact, when 2 passed on, 2 more came. And the other 2, 1 out of the 2 has passed on. And right now we have 2. So we have space, can keep 2 more elders. And that's why we are looking to Albion to put up a bigger facility. So there's
Okay.
room there.
But is there a process that, or does it have to be developed?
Is there a process? Well, yes, there's a process. They would have to apply to the Rastafari Cargans Benevolent Society. We have a manager there. We would introduce them to the manager and
Sorry, hold on there. Your mic is muted. Hold on there. Your mic is muted there, Ras Brown. Unmute your mic. Can you unmute your mic there, Ras Brown?
Okay, one part of the process is
Go ahead.
you had said something earlier. That we should not be constantly looking to the government to take us through. And that is true. Yes, this atrocity has been done, committed, but we are a people who believe in self-reliance.
Haile.
And so we need to walk in that vein. So we, the Elder Cares facility, we did as a committee, we came together and we thought, and we put a small fee to members. So the survivors, they did not have a fee. They were there. And the government looked after them and took care of the home. They would, give towards the home. And it is basically as they subsidize. Yes. In getting bigger, yes, we will look for the government to assist. But governments change and whatever happens, so we have to make the home self-reliant. And so I would like to say to the Rastafari community, just like every other nursing home, that they should look those who can, because they are those who can.
Yes.
Pay a small fee for being there. As a society, we look to the housing of the elders, and the sick. So it is open to them, but at the same time, not to take it for granted, because it costs. The operation of it costs. And that's a reality. And we cannot sit and look to the government to always cover the cost. And we want to maintain it and keep it open. So others have come and they choose not to pay, even if they can. But we might have a fee, say we have a fee of $30,000 a month. If you can manage 10, well, that's what you pay.
Yes.
You know, but to come and can manage 10 and just don't pay anything at all, it's really not just. It's really not fair for the continuum of this that we have agitated for from even before I even came to Montego Bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crucial. Very crucial.
So I don't know. Russ Brown is he unmuted his mic, so we can.
Ross Brown has dropped off temporarily. It looks like it is a connection issue. But I want to
Yes.
really go ahead.
Really, yeah. So Ras Brown is having a little technical difficulties apparently with his internet. You understand? So I'm trying to get that resolved. So just give me a few and we can sort that out. So I'm
All
working
right.
on it right now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What I want is to let me just let me know when you're ready. I put it forward on the stage. I and Sister Rosa reason now. As a
Sorry,
Haitian.
I didn't hear you.
No, it says I and the higher reason. No. Until the brethren them forward. Because what you touch is something I want to. Because we have to change our community mentality. You know,
Yeah.
we would want to tear down the Coral Garden Benevolent Society than to give us strength financially or to become a member to hold the ones accountable, you know, because I'm all for accountability, but accountability in the sense that you put your effort toward the effort, because you cannot just sit on the sideline and throw a stone. You know what I mean? Our elders don't have that luxury to wait on I to lobby the government. And I think we've become very complacent as a community where everything is a government, and we can and we have numbers now that we can fund ourselves. It's not like one time, you know. You cannot tell me that we don't have more than 10,000 Rastafari in Jamaica, you know, and I believe you. So if you have 10,000 Rasses and every Rasta give $500 strong, you tell me we can't fund some institution in Jamaica? Sister Rose, I'm mad this me talk.
Exactly.
Eh?
Exactly. What you're saying is true. And we really need to stop. We really need to stop. And I'm talking to the community. You really need to stop. We are not a people. We are beggars. We are not beggars. And we need
No,
to
we are
stop begging.
royal.
We need to stop begging. We are self-reliant people. We are very skilled people. We are very talented people. Okay? We are leaders. And if we are going to walk and call the name of Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Menin, then we need to walk, and we need to walk it and not just talk it. And
Talk it.
Rastafari today in Jamaica just talk it. Them not walking it. And they need to stop. Okay, and then we who are doing something, you have those who come out and chastise and whatever and have all they have to say. I'm not really a social media person, so
Yes.
I hear all the things, by the way, because I'm not on social media and all of this, Instagram and Ray and Tay. But I hear, by the way, and they are doing it. For what reason? But however, when we have our commemoration, we're not seeing out the whole lot of them because we do it every year. And I don't know, Ras Brown, what is the largest number have we pulled in at the commemoration of Rastafari? What's the largest number of Rastafari that has attended a commemoration?
Well, the last one we have about I can't tell you exactly, but we have maybe about 200.
All right. So if I may,
Look at that.
being that I worked at the gate.
Look at that.
Well, exactly. I worked at the gate for the last commemoration that was held at Aquasal. And it's about 200 to about 250 persons that actually paid to enter the venue. Now, remember I said that I worked at the gate. And I worked at the gate for basically from day till night.
God.
And every act or every artist that came, they came with person or persons with
Yes.
them. Some people want a whole bus.
Yes.
And when at one point at the gate we say, since you're artists and you're going in and you're not pay, would you like to make a donation to the movement then? Because all of these funds are going back to take care of the elders. And I was chastised and I was disrespected and I was spoken to some ways.
Wow.
And remember,
A Rasta thing must go free.
that is what they keep saying.
False concepts.
And they
However,
are not
those
aware
same people going to go to confess and pay.
and pay if you go in. And not
But
only that,
anything what Rasta put on, it must free.
and you see, when some of them come and them preach about love and unity and all of these things, when the event I go on, I had the opportunity to walk with Sister Nanny one at the time then. Because, all right, they want them come at the gate and them say, wife, all right, me no make the money yet, so me can't pay if you go in as a vendor, because
Yes.
vendors would pay different prices from patrons.
Yes, yes.
Right? So, them say, wife, all right, I don't make the money yet, so I can't pay. I say, all right, well, here, go on, I will come pay you a little bit from this and collect the money. Go ahead and do your thing. And when we were walking around to collect from these same vendors that were let in, yeah.
This
And
is
these are things that we face every year.
yes, but let me say this, you know, as Rastafari non-aligned
I don't mean to
independent
cut you. I
media.
don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you. But
Yes.
to reiterate, this commemoration that we keep on a yearly basis, it is our single biggest fundraiser for the year. We don't keep nothing else for the year. All of the other funding for the society come from dues. I'm gonna tell you, I already say membership is an issue. So if membership is an issue, that means say what?
Not a
We're
lot
gonna
of
You.
dues. Yes.
And use is $400 a month.
I have two words for the Rastafari community: budget and staff. These things, liberation is not free. So if you think he's a freedom fighter and your liberation not going to cost, war is one of the most expensive activity. Any type of war, you know, it costs. So for I and I to build the alternative to Babylon is capital intensive. I want to change the mind of my brethren and my sister, because we find the money when we need the money, because the whole of we are live within the society, the whole of we have youth, the whole of we have to find back to school money, we have to find this, we have to find that. So if we're not funding our own Rastafari ecosystem, how will it thrive? Are we saying that the reparation from the government must fund everything that we're doing, and that means we would be children, we'd be babies, that we cannot survive without funding coming from a third party? Yes, it is due to us. Yes, we must claim what we have, but self-determination means that I and I, and I mean, fund our own liberation. I take it personal because I'm here with the Rastafari media and I don't get the support that I know that I should get for the work that we are doing. But it's not, I don't take it personal because I know that it's a mentality that we have as Rastafari people, and it's a false concept, and we have to confront it head on because we're not going to liberate ourselves unless we fund it. There's no goodwill out there. There's no letter that we can write that's going to open up a reserve that somebody's going to automatically just fund us to liberate ourselves. That is a fantasy and it's a delusion and it's a lie. So we have to burn it. His Majesty never show any that example. So let me come off of my soapbox now and let my guests speak. Talk to us because there are so many expenses that are related to. Well, first of all, the plan with the land is to create an elder care facility. There's also a plan to have a museum type of structure. I want the item to give an idea of the cost because land office survey, there's a lot of steps, once the title has been granted that has to take place that the community is going to really have to rally to get this done, to build out this community asset. Can anyone speak to what the vision of the Coral Garden Benevolent Society is for that land?
So,
Well,
may I? So,
one know for sure, you see, we're going to have to get some engineer. We do an engineer assessment way back, but we need to do engineer works, like on the building and the ground itself. And to engineer and survey, it takes some money. So that's where we would start. But really, of a fact, we can't give you anything on paper right now because we're going to have to get the builders, the technocrats have to come in and help. So if we can get some technocrats who can do it voluntary, because we know the Rastafari is wide enough, we'll gladly accept it. But we need a builder survey and quantity survey and anything that can help to prolong the growth of the land. So we can't give you anything specific in terms of figure right now. But we are here. We are a community. So we have to speak these things together and build ourselves.
One of the things.
Okay, go ahead.
Finish. One of the things we need to do is secure the premises. So the place needs fencing.
Yes.
In order to we have identified the areas that we can do some farming because we as Rastafari like to grow our food and push forth using the land, and there is a lot of land and we don't plan to put building on the entire land. So we have to fence in order to protect the crops from the cows and the goats and others. The constant maintaining of the land, which we have been doing over the years, because we can't just leave it up all the time. Sometimes we have to leave it, but sometimes we have to go there and clean up. And a lot of times it is we, the few who are on the committee, that goes there and clean up the place. And whenever we push out to the community for ones to come in and give us strength, is the same few who are there. But we continue, and we have continued over the years. And I, at this time, would appeal to the Rastafari community who genuinely would like to see the growth of our community and would like to see something there for the children, because we have to think about our children. I'm very concerned about our children. Rastafari children. There is no space for our children to go, to keep them away from this Babylon system and all the things that it is pushing. No space for them to go to continue the learning and overstanding of Rastafari, of the teachings of Emperor Selassie and Empress Menin. There
Stick up
is
in, stick up in,
nowhere
stick up in.
honor in,
Stick
and
up
it
in,
should be
Sister Rose.
happening
Stick
in
up in.
every.
Hold on there, Sister Rose. Stick up in. What does that say about Jamaica in 2025? The place where Rastafari spread to the four corners of the earth, that we don't have a center where children can learn on this whole island. Tell me, what does that say about us in Jamaica?
Okay. I don't need to answer that because it is right there in our face. And so we as a society, we think on all these things. So getting the land means a lot to the Benevolent Society, because in getting the land, we can then put things in place to ensure a future for Rastafari, at least in Montego Bay, and hopefully the other communities, because everybody can't just come to Montego Bay. Jamaica is wide and Rastafari is grand, you know? And there's supposed to be a space in every parish, as far as I'm concerned, for Rastafari children can go and learn and develop, and they get them extra lessons and get them teaching on Marcus Garvey and Selassie, and and do some drumming they and be creative and make and develop as we know ourselves to be self-reliant. We need to create spaces for our children to do that and not think, because we already, one of the points we make to the government is for them, just in terms of in parliament, so that they would, the discrimination that happens against Rastafari in the workplace, that is one of the 13 points that we want either a law, something tabled in parliament, that the people will stop doing it, stop keeping our children out of schools, and stop getting having our people at the workplace have to trim the man them, have to trim them precepts, or the woman them cut them locks or whatever. Well, no, locks is a fashion, so them lowering the locks, so them not troubling the locks. But guess what? The precepts, the man. And okay, we already have an incident right here in 2025, right in Montego Bay. Okay, tour operator, he got through the whole system, paid all his money, get certified, whatever, get employed, go on his first job, to then be told that, okay, to continue working, he needs to cut his precepts. Foolishness. Sister Nanny mentioned it at the
Yes,
at
yes,
the signing when she did her opening speech. She mentioned it.
yes.
Okay, the discrimination continues. It continues with the children in the school. It continues at the hospital. It continues within our society. And we need to, this is one of the things that we want the government to put in place, that the people stop doing to our people. So we Rastafari, what I can say, Rastafari, Carl Garden, Rastafari Benevolent Society, right now in Jamaica, is the only Rastafari institution that can address the government and the government responds.
Respond.
Is
True
that
that.
not a fact,
True
Rash
that.
Brown?
That is a fact.
Yes.
They respond.
Yes.
If any Rastafari community out there is to get any money for Rastafari, them have to come to the Benevolent Society to receive it, because the government not writing a check to no Rastafari entity out there.
Facts.
So
And
why
one of the
Rastafari
things
just
out is
don't
because we are
come in
registered.
and become members and strengthen the movement? Because that's what we want. A strength.
And I would add that the Coral Garden Benevolent Society is a founding member of the RMO.
Exactly.
RMO is registering a trust that will also act as a centralization. But these are tools that the community has. And what I would advocate to the family is that we utilize these tools. Let us, have an irid of unity and build upon the gains. I want to introduce the family to a term which is called a war of attrition, meaning that the war takes
Over
place over a
time,
long time. It's not
long
a
period
quick
of
war.
time.
You see, man, say so. We're in a war of attrition against the forces of Babylon, meaning you're gonna have small little victories like this. It doesn't mean that the battle is won, but it means that you've gained a little ground, just like the amendment to the Dangerous Drug Act. These are all little small markers. These are not victories, you know what I mean? But this is
Small
the
wins.
of attrition that allows the movement to move forward incrementally. What we have to do is consolidate, and what has not happened in Jamaica is that Jamaica has not harnessed the economic power that the community has, because poverty is a disease, it's a mentality, and a lot of us feel poor. But again, we find money. Money are passed through our hands, and if we were aggregating that money, centralizing that money, $500 from 10,000 people is a lot of money, you know what I mean? And you can generate that every month in Jamaica. It's easy if we
I
organize,
agree.
centralize. Yes, King.
So to add what to what Sister Rosie was saying, and to further elaborate on what Raspuron was also saying, to answer your question about what are some of the plans for the lots that we have. Now, we've sat and we've discussed a number of things, and one thing that everybody agrees on in the exec is that we ought to be able to generate some amount of income from those two lots.
Yes.
And in so discussing, a number of ideas were shared. Now, Sister Rosie said that we were going to plant up the place
Yeah.
because we like to grow what we eat,
Yes. Self-reliance.
right? Exactly. Now, in so doing, one idea that came up is that on either it is monthly or fortnightly or something like that, we would have what is called like a little Rasta gathering where that man over there so we grow so he can bring his produce and come here so, and somebody else can bring theirs. And if there's going to be any trade, them trade, and people can show up who are not necessarily Rastafarians, come get them fresh produce. And
Yes.
in that way, there's some amount of communion and community with Rasta. You will see
Yes.
a man going to see for a long time, and a man will know say, boy, if he wants to see so and so, I like if you see someone hygiene them, come to this place at this time on that day.
Yes. Farmers
No,
market.
something like that. You
Yes.
understand?
Um,
Where
and,
where
and
we the society go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, and it's a good thing because within the RMO, ITAL certification standard is being developed. So these regional
There you
markets
go.
or local markets can now be the distribution points for Rastafari farmers to sell their ITAL, because we are branding our produce different than the fertilizer GMO crops where you would have find at the market. So this is where the identity come in, and this is why I'm calling and sounding the trumpet to my family in Jamaica that we need to get our act together. I pull out my calculator, because he's a man like that, I like those talk. And I realized that $500 from 10,000 people is $5 million. You know what I mean?
A month.
You
Yeah,
see me say that
and
a
that can do
month.
so much.
You see me say,
You
so
know,
$5 million could be generated if 10,000 people join the Rastafari Call Garden Benevolent Society in Jamaica. That could be, you know what I mean, 5 million a month that can go to sustain different projects and proposals. So we have to change our thinking. We're not poor. We have poor thinking. You know,
thank you very much.
yeah, you know, collectively we're not poor.
Thank you.
Um,
However,
Mickle can do so much if we bring it together, and instead of we say, boy, you see Sister Rose car where she a drive and she have big title and she thief the money. Before we do that, we need to go and become a member. Yes, accountability. Look for the transparency. The organization should be sharing their books with their members. You know, as
but
according to the
the books
bylaws.
are available. The
But
books
this is
are
it.
available.
That's what I'm coming to. So there's a process. I'm not saying to be naive and to just be happy-go-lucky. I'm saying that instead of you throw stone at Ross Brown and Sister Rose and Ross Gregory, become a member. You know, go through the process, learn, and see how we can make it better, because no one is coming to save us. And when Ross Brown retire, there must be someone else that is there to carry on the work, or this thing will just pop down. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna blame the government, and that is not
Exactly.
right, because we are responsible ultimately for our own liberation. You know what I mean? So I want to just change the mentality that we have as a people, because we have to have some accountability. At the same time that we put the fire upon the government, because the government is not exempt. You know what I mean? They have a reparation. And this move here is one more step in terms of the reparation, but there's a lot more, as you say, that has to be done. And from what I'm hearing, Coral Garden Benevolent Society has not given up that right to get it done. Farmers
It's still
market
agitating.
say no culture without
Without
agriculture.
agriculture,
Yes,
right?
that
All right.
and
So,
that and
Yeah.
that
Real
kindly,
system.
That
and
school says,
yes, hold on. Don't go wisely from St. Lucia, former chair of the CRO, says what the JLP is now doing is simply acknowledging reparatory justice.
give
Yeah.
that
thanks.
is true.
Give thanks.
Guide
Give thanks.
him agree. Okay, what you say, Ross Brown?
Yeah, I say give thanks to that. You know, I'm going to share something with you. Some time ago, you see, when we were having our commemoration at the Nyabingi Center, a brethren called me and said, we invite Dr. Chang to come and speak, you know, because you know we are look to them to repair the damage that take place, you know. And the brethren called me upon the phone and said to me that, well, I come a commemoration every year, you know. But now come this year, you know, because I soon have Dr. Chang on his posters, you know. You see me, brethren. And then, man, they will look for give me compensation, you know. We talk every year about compensation. And
Yes,
we need to hear what them are going to say or what they have to say in terms of repairing the damage that take place. He said,
yes.
boy, we're not supposed to look to no politician. And you know what I remind him of?
What's
I
that?
remind him of when we used to have commemoration down at Dump Up.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Henry was the opposition at that time, you know, because the PNP government was in power at that time.
Yes.
And Mike Henry was the first politician that come on the stage, you know, and said that Ras Tafari get compensation.
Hard.
So me I remind him of that, and me I remind him say he was there too. He said we're not supposed to look to no politician. So you see, it's just like oh them give us the land now. We are look compensation from the government, but when the government give it, they say a sellout.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be like that
No.
because we are crying. I come here the elders them are crying how long for reparation and compensation, and when it come about now, people can say well then a sellout. Shouldn't be like that. They should just accept, like you said, it's just a little piece of the pie that we are getting and it's not complete. Because they're not going to give everything one time. So I just bring that in light of the compensation package that need
Uh,
to take place.
and I want to say that we could get more, but right now the community doesn't have a lot of leverage. because we're not
Right.
as strong, united as we can. You see, if we as strong, united as we can, you see, if we come to the government economically strong, we get what we want to get. And that is what we
Definitely
have to
so.
understand. That, you know, because the Chinese, when they negotiate with the government, they get what they want to get because they have
Yes.
leverage and they're strong. You know what I mean? The
And one of the
Lebanese.
things about it to them talk with one voice.
Yes, exactly. So
And
Exactly.
like you mentioned now, we are looking towards community compensation now. So we
yes,
can align with the RMO because the RMO is a wider structure, which the RMO is Rastafari, Mansion, and organization come together and saying one thing,
yes,
which is a good move because we get across on a wider leverage in terms of the points that we need to send across to the government that we are speaking with one voice.
yes,
So I like the RMO because we are piloting the thing through the Rastafari Cargo and Benevolent Society, same way, because we are trying to speak with one voice because the elders them get certain amount of compensation now. So what we
yes,
need now, we need the community compensation, which the land is a part of the community compensation, but we're looking more still because it's not, you know, leave there. So
Stick up in 1 second. I have one of my Lion Pride on Patreon say he wants to give a donation to the RCGBS. How can ones give a contribution that are not in Jamaica? This brethren is based in the US. He's part of the Lion Pride and Patreon, which is an action force. Because I'm building my action force here, you know. So
If I can answer that question.
yeah,
So
man.
currently, if they want to, they would have to make a transfer to the society's bank account.
Okay.
Right. So what we can do is to provide the account,
Yes.
the account number, the bank, and the routing number, and then
Yes.
you can make it available to your funds.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I'll
As
do
the
that.
We
response of it.
don't have that
I will do that
available.
right now. I will
Good,
do that right now.
good, good.
Our bank is Sagicor Bank and it's the Fairview branch in Montego
Okay.
Bay.
Send it to me because I'll put it in the description of the video. And because what I'm doing on this platform, I'm cultivating an audience that likes to take action. Because what I realize again is not a fact that we don't have the resources, that we're not harnessing the collective resource. You know what I mean? The $5 and the $10 when they're put together, $500 and the $200 in the Jamaica context, they can do a lot when they are put with others. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we, all of us, have them type of money a pass through a hand. We might not have the Wagga Wagga, but we have the Mickle, Muckle. You know what I mean? So
Every Muckle make a Muckle.
from the mass creates action, and it moves, and it's powerful. The power has always been with the people. This is why Haile Selassie coined the term collective security. You see me I say?
Yes.
The collective have to secure the nation. So I'm asking the family, and I big up Ras Roots Life. This is one of our faithful audience members. He's a member of our Ubuntu Lion Pride and our Lion Pride on
It does not
Patreon.
work with CashApp.
Okay. So
I am working to get that sorted out.
Yeah, man. I'm going to. I'll reason with him, but the brethren wants to give a contribution, and we'll try to make sure so we can facilitate that. It might have to go Western Union too, you know. So we'll see. Worst case scenario. Once we.
If I may.
Yeah.
There is this app that can be used to send money to Jamaican accounts, bank accounts. I think the name of it is Remitly, as in Remitly. So when we provide the banking information, then they can just probably install the app and they can make a donation, or if they choose to, they can continuously make donations.
Yeah, man. We're gonna
So
work.
that way the money go directly to the bank account, because one thing we pride ourselves in is transparency.
Yes.
So we don't necessarily want to do the Western Union thing.
Okay.
Agree. I agree, Gregory.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the
Yeah, we
time to go
prefer go through the
stamping
bank
on this
account.
document, man.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out because I
All
have
right.
full faith
What?
in terms of the item
Yes. But
and what the item
hold on.
can. Yeah.
Ras Kwasi.
Yes, I.
It is our MO, our modus operandi, if you make sure say whatever we are do, it is above board because you know say Jamaicans excel at everything, don't? So if
Yes.
them all so if them go bash and them all question and them go naysay, they're going to excel at it. Because when we were told that the government was ready to hand over reparations, it was suggested that the funds be transferred to the society and then the society transferred to the survivors.
Yes.
And we unanimously decided that no, not at all. Let us then get the survivors' banking information or their next of kin banking information so that the money can be sent to them or directly to somebody that they choose. And Sister Rosie mentioned that it was only a few of them who could not and were not able to set up or use that opportunity. And then the society stepped in to do it for them. Right? Yeah, so I just want to put that out there.
Yes. Very important because the perception is that the item get millions of dollars and I live big
No,
life. And it's very important. And even with the elder care facility, the government pays the facility bills directly. It doesn't pass through. That's my understanding. That is the government that's covering these costs. Is that true?
No, whatsoever money the government send for the elders care facility,
Yes.
we have to send a monthly report
Okay.
showing them how the money spent. And you
Yes.
know, government say we have to send how the money spent for them to give us some more money.
Yes.
And we have to produce all receipt and all signing document for like you know, like the staff, how them get paid and all of that.
Yes.
We have to be transparent. And remember now, you know, we are registered with the Friendly Society. So we
Yes.
have to send in annual report.
Yes.
And their annual report have to see all receipt, bank account, how money was lodged to the account and how it's spent. So we have to,
So
as a
yearly
benevolent
audit.
society, we have
Yeah.
to be transparent.
Yearly audited accounts.
Yearly. And that's
Yeah.
why the government have a little trust in us, you know,
Yes.
because we are a registered organization and we have to send in the annual report.
Yes.
And like the brethren said, we are the only registered Rastafari organization in Jamaica. So the government honor the RCGBS as one way to go forward. So we try to make everything transparent as possible. That members can see what we are doing, the government can see what we are doing, and people in general, if them ask questions, we can show them.
Yes. Yes. There may be a couple other registered organs, but the item are definitely one of the most prominent in terms of track record and dealing with large sums of money in a transparent way. I want to commend the item works. I know what it means to run an organization, and it's very easy to tear down something and very hard to build something. So I want to commend the item works. I mean, we can agree to disagree on things without tearing each other down. That is another thing that I want to share with the community. Unity does not mean uniformity. You know what I mean? And we can all come together to put our future in our hands. We don't have to be a victim anymore, because how many Rastafari do you think are in St. James alone? Do you think that there are 1,000 Rastas in St. James? More than
More than that, man. More than that.
You
More
think
than that,
10,000?
my brethren.
You think 10,000 Rastas live in St. James?
Well, a little less than that, you know. But one
Okay.
of the things about it,
Yeah.
a lot of Rastas say they are Ras,
Yeah.
but they don't heal His Majesty, So
Okay.
we look to Rastafari who heal His Majesty, who
Yes.
take on the covenant, and to we that is Rastafari.
I don't know anything else other than that.
Right, right. Because you remember now, all of us, when we say Rastafari in the 70s and the 60s, we get run out of house,
Yes.
Mother and father don't want to see you no more, because you turn all dirty Rasta,
Yes.
So we go through them the tribulation and know what it is to be Rastafari. And the
Yeah.
elders them pass through the same tribulation too.
Yeah.
So, and anybody who say Rasta, a Rasta, we have to make that clear, because once you heal His Majesty and carry the covenant, not necessarily the covenant neither, in terms of your ear locks, but once you heal His Majesty, you're a Rasta man. So not
Yes.
everyone's a Rasta, a Rasta. And
That's a key.
I must point out something to what Greg said anyway, in terms
Yes.
of the elders them getting funds, like I must stress on the trust fund that was set up by the government. Because there was
Yes.
a trust fund that was set up,
Yes.
and Gregory mentioned the trust fund that when them decided that they would put a trust fund together, we said that the money shouldn't come to us, but it should go direct to the elders.
Yes.
The trust fund set up and it is running right now as we speak. The elders them are getting 100,000 from the trust fund every month, not from us. From
Yes.
the trust fund was set up by the government with the administrator general.
Yes.
The administrator general of each one of them bank account, and these are the survivors I'm telling you about now. Who went
Yes.
through the atrocity. They
Yes.
get 100,000 from the trust fund every month, so
Okay.
that them can finance them doctors bill, because remember they are aged now, Many of them in them 80s and
Yes.
late 70s. And all them beating and them lick what them get. Some of them are suffering till to the day. So that trust fund was set up by the government. That's from 2000, December 2018, 2019. And from that time, a lot of them is getting funds from that trust fund monthly. And that's another part of the compensation package as well. So things is happening. And all of this come through what you call the agitation of the Rastafari Cargo Benevolent Society. And like I said, there's more work to do. We have to keep on, because we are an agitating group, and whenever you stop licking that hammer, things fade away. So we have to keep on licking the hammer, because the agitation never stops. From we come here as slaves, we have been agitated.
Yes.
Because many times, many of the slaves, they were come here, they didn't want to stay, they were fighting to go back home. So
Yes.
that agitation that we carrying through is the same agitation what the slave picked them in a carry. And we come and say Rastafari, we are carried through same way, because remember now, when the Rasta them went heights, the red, green, and gold flags, England said, no man, kill out the whole of the Rasta. How can you in a sovereign country, we have fly the British flag, and this man come and talk about Ethiopia, red, green, and gold flag? Get rid of them. That was what the Queen said,
Yeah, man.
and the King of England, So we are carrying that flame shoe still. So we need strength from the Rastafari community, and to understand what we are doing and get on board.
It's a time of unity right now. It's a time to come together. It's not a time to divide and rule. It's not a time to be victims of that and to use things to use against our brothers and sisters. So I definitely give thanks, but I have some hard questions for the item now. I look at Ras Gregory, and I know he's the youngest person on this panel. But I couldn't call Ras Gregory a youth. You know what I mean? I would break my own rules. What is the youth engagement like, for the Rastafari Kolgan Benevolent Society? And I ask this because all of our Rastafari organizations are having trouble with youth engagement. What is the, are there youths that are part of the Coral Garden Benevolent Society? And if not, what are the plans to get some youth, some young people? When I say young people, I'm talking about under 20. When I talk about young adults, I'm talking 20 to 40. When I talk
I
mature
can see
adults,
that
I'm talking
easily.
40 to 60. You know what I mean? So how do we get some young people and some young adults on board to carry on these works?
All right. So we have come up with several strategies that have been employed somewhat and some are still in the pipelines. Now, in terms of interest or displayed interest from youths, we don't see much interest from individuals under 20 wanting to join the organization unless their parents are members or are Rastafarians. No, being an educator, right? I teach at Cornwall College, and on occasion there'll be students who are desirous of joining the faith and following His Majesty, and they will come to me and say, "Boy, sir, boy, I want to start growing my locks, but the school are gonna say whatever, whatever, whatever." In cases like these, we we would then allow the students to join the organization, and after a period of time, then we could say, "Boy, all right, we can vote for them that this man is on the path and he's desirous of following His Majesty, and we're hoping that you will afford him the courtesies that you would harass on somebody following the faith." You
Yes.
understand? But after we provide letters for these individuals,
Mm-hmm.
we don't see them.
Okay.
And what will happen is a lot of ras will bring their kids to us and say, "Boy, their kids or their grandkids want to go to this school, and they want a letter to say, boy, they are part of the organization so that their kids or their grandkids can go to school and wear them here." But oftentimes, it is not for the purpose that it is intended, if you get what I say. You understand? And I have suggested that we kind of heavily consider providing letters in these circumstances. But separate and apart from that, the below 20 age group, there is not much interest in a Rastafari. There's a whole lot of interest in a locks, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot of interest in a Rastafari. Now, persons above 20, let us say 20 to about 35, we will see moderate interest.
Yes.
Moderate. But most of our membership are is comprised, or let us say our potential membership generally comes from the more senior citizens who remember the atrocities, who remember the
Yeah.
struggle where Rastafari used to go to, who have lived a certain portion of their life a
Yes.
particular way.
Yes.
Understand? There are no real new converts right now.
Down in the valley. Yes.
That is where we are.
Down in the valley. So
Funny enough, it is not taught in schools what happened in Coral Gardens,
okay.
because I'm going to tell you this. So, if you know anything about Jamaica, you don't know, say Monroe College are one of the more prestigious high school them. I
Yes.
attended Monroe College, and when I did CXEs, there's a thing called subject prize, where if you got the best overall pass in that subject, you got the subject prize. I got the subject prize in Caribbean history,
Yes.
and I did not know about the Carl Gardens atrocity until I moved to Montego Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did not find proof of it in any literature. It's word of mouth. I hear it from first, and then when I start follow it up now, I come across the movement, and I say, "What? Yeah." So one of the things that we are facing is that a lot of persons don't know the reason for the RCGBS, why we started agitating, and why we persist in working. You understand? A lot of people not aware of it. And I think that is one of the things them is harming our membership. And another thing that is harming our membership is the whole of negative comments from people who don't really know Wagwan and don't take the time to find out Wagwan, and then
Yeah.
those who know Wagwan but twist it to fit their narrative.
Mm.
No, there is always there are always naysayers, and most recently something became quite blatantly obvious to us as the society.
Mm-hmm.
Ras Brown said it earlier, say you know some man say Rasta them on a real Rasta. Now, if you are a Ras from Montego Bay, you don't know about the Carl Gardens incident. And if you know about the Carl Gardens incident, you don't know about the Rastafari Carl Gardens Benevolent Society. And having known about those two things, you'd have also been privy, if you never know, say every bad Friday, RCGBS keep an event that commemorates the 1963 Carl Gardens atrocity, and the
Yes.
funds of which goes to take care of our elders.
Yes.
But you have Ras where I keep competing events with the Bad Friday event where we are put on for the rest them, for the elder them, and them are call themselves Ras. You understand? Using
Yes.
the name and the whole context of the atrocities to promote for them thing. And when they do for them thing now, the question is, do they make any contributions to the survivors
Mm.
after using the name and the narrative of the survivors? Just like how Jamaica use Rasta in every tourist board advertisement.
Yes.
In every advertisement, you see a Rasta chop jelly or something, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And you see them use with colors. You never see a Jamaica advertisement without a Rasta building or a Rasta cat or a Rasta something.
Yes. 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 Yes.
But yet, you understand? But yet,
No, it's a serious sound, and this is the disease, that plagues our community. The lack of unity, and it's so simple. It's very simple, it's not hard, and I make it hard. It don't take enough either. These are all illusions and false concepts that we have to break. It's just some different decisions, and 6 months we can turn around Jamaica. I tell them that straight. If we make some different decisions in the next 6 months, we turn around the whole Rastafari faith in Jamaica just by putting the funds together, having a clear plan and a vision, and funding ourselves, getting it out of our mind that the government is going to be the ones that liberate us. You know what I mean? Government will come on board when they see the tide sweeping, but we have to set that spark. And if we don't come to that realization, we're going to prolong it. The next generation going to have to come and rise and do it. And I don't think it's fair to the younger generation to leave that on them. You know what I mean? The elders them did their work splendidly. You know what I mean, Ras Brown? I have to commend the generation and the elders that came before I. Splendid works the them do, because Rastafari spread to the four corners of creation because of the great tribulation that was endured, by these same survivors and by many others who names, go nameless. So I have no um, problems with the elders them, but I generation now have work to do. And again, it's not hard. It's really join an organization, get active. We have too many people on the fence. And what I'm also realizing is that we have a lot of lazy people out there who use their mouth as the main apparatus, instead of get up and work and make things happen. We're talking about people and what I want this audience, the Lion Pride to commit is next time someone come and tell you about someone, you just say to them, so what is the solution, my brethren and sister? What can we do to move forward? I want we start approach reasoning that way. Instead of we get involved and we try bring down, just say what is the solution, my brethren and my sister, and what can we do right now to move it forward. That is what I want from I and I Lion Pride. All right, so I'm gonna give our guests a chance to give our final sounds. This is the Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society. 2 plots of land were given by the Jamaica government. This land was promised from a longer time. We are now seeing all of the media. I'm hearing some feed forward. We're seeing all of the media out there about this land. It's a big thing. We're in election season. So we said we have to hear directly from the recipients of the land. And we have heard tonight this land was promised over 7 years ago. It's gone through the organization has been lobbying for this land. It's just now the government has granted the land. So this is nothing new that came out of the sky. It's a result of the community being active and asking for that reparatory judgment. This is not the end of the advocacy of Coral Gardens. We heard that 13 points were submitted and not all have yet been filled, so the agitation continues. We heard that the government has committed to help with the establishment of an elder care facility. And we heard the trumpet call from the Coral Garden Benevolent Society that they need membership, that membership need to pay their dues, and that we have to stop looking at Rastafari as a freeness, Chad, where because I'm a Rastafari person, and it's laziness, it's a lazy mentality. Me I burn that fire up on my brethren them, that as a Ras, things must be free. His Majesty never show I that, and that is why Ras. You see the point where you make that you have a lot of people under locks that don't hail His Majesty. We have to start sort out them people there, because we can't mix oil and water. You know what I mean? We need to be gathering the children of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Me now say we can't work with Pan-African brethren and sisters who under locks, or our militant brethren under locks. But you see the people who are under His Majesty, where we don't have to convince, that know the power of economics, that know say when them come a place they must support with their dollars, because His Majesty tell us that self-reliance, self-determination. We have to separate them people there from the people who just want to come a place and smoke a spliff and burn a chalice and go on them yard and yam and drop asleep and get up and we have to separate from them people there. I tell you them it's harsh, but it's Armageddon. All right, I'm gonna give everyone a chance to give their final sounds. This was a historic platform, because usually the narrative just goes out there and we don't hear from the ones them, but now we have a platform in Rastafari where we can go direct. So if you're watching this live, or if you see this on the replay, you can send us. Next time a person tells us RCGB get land and then sell out, you send them this video and say, just watch this, brethren, because you don't know what you're talking about. The buckle is still hot, you know what I mean? So we have this tool now. So I'm gonna ask Ras Gregory to give your final sound, then we'll go to Sister Rose and we seal up with Ras Brown as the elder. Just give us your final sound on this land grant. Anything that you want to tell the global family. We have Selassie, who is watching from Australia on the line. You know what I mean? We global. I just want the item know that this thing global. We're not local around here. So give us your final sound and let the people them know the works and any call to action, importantly, that you have for the family, because this is an action platform. All right, go, Ras Gregory.
So what I'm saying is, if we want to do great things, we have to start by doing smaller great things, and then all of these small great things will add up to something really great. That is what we are doing, and that is what we are aspiring to continue to do. But if the support sure, the outcome is sure. We need support, we need strength. We always talk about unity is strength. Let us not just say it. Let us live it and show it, because that is what the RCGBS is doing. The small few, that is what we are doing. And if we can get some support, if the few of us can do this and achieve this, imagine what we can achieve with the strength of everyone behind us. Imagine the strength that we would have if we had the support. That's all we are looking, some support. Manners, respect, honor.
What a joy. Brethren, it's a powerful sound. Sister Rose, give us your final sound.
All right. Coming in and becoming members of this movement. It is a movement. We are a people in the Benevolent Society, we who manage at this time the committee. We believe in the future of Rastafari and the future of the movement, and we welcome young people, because there's young Rastafari people out there and they have nowhere to go. We are here. So that's what I'm saying. We are here. We welcome you. We welcome your ideas, because we are a few sitting trying to find our way and do what we want to do. You know, do things for the community. It would be great for the community to come in and give us support and give us their advice and let us do it together. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, in the name of Haile Selassie, I am Chris Meninai. Haile.
Give thanks, give thanks. We have Sister Rose up late tonight, so we have to give thanks for the time, you know what I mean? Give thanks, Sister Rose, for your wisdom and your wise mind and your overstanding. And an organization that has things to hide is not inviting membership to come and join and come and be part of the process. So I just want the item to note that the ones them are calling the ones to come in and add to the strength. Ras Brown, give us your final word sound.
Well, yes. All right. The main reason why you have us here tonight is in respect of the confusion where the land grant is concerned.
Yes.
We really understand and overstand the concern of citizens and of Rastafari and Pan Africanists who feel within themselves that this is a sellout thing. It's no sellout. We have been agitating for this land for quite a long while now. And it was promised to us. And one of the things about it, it was told to us that we have to make our books in order. That is not just one member of parliament would sign off on this. It would be all the ministers in parliament have to sign off on this. And for them to sign off on this, we have to make our books up to date, standard. That's all of them can see that we have our regular annual general meeting and our regular annual report. So we live up to that standard. And in living out to that standard, we were granted the land. And there's much more to come, but we need strength. Because it's a very few of us, and with the strength of others on board, the stronger we become is the tighter we become. So we need the strength to go forward, overstand, and less bickering. Because we are taking this forward. And as you see, we have get the grant of the land, and it's no joke thing. So we are asking for membership, and the way forward is strength. Give thanks and praise. And I'm glad that this brethren could have us here, that we could extend our views to all global people. That's them understand that this is no joke business, because it was in the media and a lot of people was criticizing. But it's no joke business. We are Rastafari from birth, and we are carrying the battle too, because we get the baton from the elders, so we have to carry it through, and we are trying to strengthen it for future generation. So we need to have this. Blessing and joy to you, my brother.
Tide that's sweeping Africa cannot be stayed. No force on earth is great enough to halt or reverse the trend. Its march is as relentless and inexorable as the passage of time. These are the words of Kalamawi, Haile Selassie the First. Last Friday, we had the St. Croix Rastafari family here. The governor apologized and granted July 23rd as Rastafari Day. Today, we are here with the Coral Rastafari Coral Garden Benevolent Society after they're receiving a grant of land from the Jamaica government in reparation for the atrocities that were committed against the elders. So there's a tide that's sweeping. It doesn't mean that we're naive or complacent. Yes, the government did it on their time. Election time is convenient for them. We're not naive to that. But we cannot use that as a division to make us now focus on that and not on the bigger war of attrition that is taking place, where we are agitating for our rights, and slowly but surely they know, the ones in power know that Rastafari is due. That is what we have to look at, and now we have to leverage. So I'm calling on 10,000 fire angels in Jamaica to join the Coral Garden Benevolent Society to pay the monthly dues of $400, and that will have an impact of $4 million every month going into the coffers. 10,000, even 10,000s of fire angels gathering up in a Mount Zion, according to the prophecy. So I'm calling on 10,000 right now. Let us mark the history to join. I think we have over that in Jamaica. So before you utter a critique, go and join and make sure that the funding is there, and then you can hold the leadership accountable according to the attribution that you're making. But if you're not making an attribution, I'm also respectfully asking ones for just keep them mouth quiet right now, because we're not in a time for petty thing or no pick the thing right now. I'm a Gideon. If you're not going to step up and invest in a thing, you need to just keep quiet and focus on something else that you are investing in, positive energy. You know what I mean? Make we keep it right there. So, because too much chatting, you know what I mean? And I'm going to talk to the man them right now. A lot of feminine quality, because you have a lot of men just sit down and a gossip and a talk, and we not see the work product. You know what I mean? When I'm traveling to different spaces, we not see the standard we're supposed to be there with so much able-bodied man around the place. You know what I mean? So we don't have no whole heap of time for a talk. And I want our family to wake up. You know what I mean? Let us wake up. All right. So there you have it. I'm coming down off of the soapbox. Sometimes I get up there, and I have to burn a fire, because it's a Gideon. You know me I talk about Ras Gregory. Sometimes I have to burn the fire, because it gets so frustrating that we have so much talking, and every organization I go to have the same challenges. We're facing the same problems: lack of human resources, lack of capital. But we have so much people out there talking, you know what I mean? When we can just put that together and fund something, and we could have so much schools and health centers and road and bridge and villages and all them things that we have talked about, Ross Brown, vision. We can build them thing there in a short span of time if we come together. But if we keep on the so, we're gonna just be, you know what I mean, in the same position, and the youth them are gonna just leave with, and you're gonna go to one museum for hear about Rastafari in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Cause Africa don't catch the energy already in Africa, you know. So I'm talking as a born Jamaican now. You know what I mean? Jamaica have to get back together. All right. So people, we have the Rastafari Korgan Benevolent Society here. We're making progress. Yes, the politics is there, but again, we can't watch the politics. We're watching the progress. I'm going to ask the Coral Garden Benevolent Society to keep us posted. We're calling on 10,000 people. Share this video to the family. Every Rastafari in Jamaica should join the Benevolent Society. Give some strength. We have to be strategic, you know what I mean? But we need some elder care facilities. And we need other things. So the Benevolent Society is taking on that role. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, make them be able to scale and deal with our elder care concerns. You know what I mean? Make we be strategic. We have other organs that will deal with other concerns. But the Benevolent Society has shown they are transparent. They've shown that they're accountable. They have clean books. Let us now fund them as a community, and anything the government gets should be brought up. That's how we should be thinking, you know, so that we can put bells and whistles on the thing them where we build. That should be the government money for the bells and the whistle, you know, the sauna and the jacuzzi where we build for the elder them, the solar power sauna. You know what I mean? But everything else, we should as a community be building these things. So that is all I have to say for the evening. I give thanks for everyone who watched live. Give thanks for the global Lion Pride family. We are funding the Association of Rastafari Creative Summer School. If you have youths under 17, you can still enroll. The first class will start on Monday. And big up Sister Janine. Big up Rita Maya, Sister Olivia from Earth and the Fullness. We have a whole panel of creatives. Sister Isla, Aya Gift, Ras Kwasi. All of the instructors are ready. We had their pre-orientation today. It was a powerful gathering. So if you have youths, go to RastafariCreatives.com. You can register your youths. You can pay whatever you can afford. Full summer camp. We are about solutions over here. We're building out Rastafari education, and we're going to build out a creative curriculum for our youth. So support, we have youth from Ghana, from all over the world that will be participating in this second annual virtual summer camp. Register your children today. If they're under 17, if you have college age youth, they can join the leadership cohort and put it on their resume for college. They can help out the instructors. Make sure you tune in RastafariCreatives.com. Register. We also want to big up iYard Radio, getting ready to start Street University with Dr. Kadamawi Knife. Big up Breadlocks, Dr. Kadamawi Knife. I'm going to start running some commercials. Street University. If you're not following iYard Radio on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to iYard Radio. We're building out Rastafari independent, non-aligned media. We have the Honorable Priest Isaac is planning his trip to Ethiopia. Go to the Holistic Institute, Priest Isaac, to register if you want to go to Ethiopia for the AU CARICOM Summit this September. I think they still have some spaces. Big up Honorable Priest Isaac and the family in Antigua. Rastafari is coming together over land and sea, family. They cannot stop the Unity. Next Strong will be in Toronto at the International Rastafari Conference. Mr. Masani and Rastafest. We are a sponsor as well, the Lion Voice Network. So stay tuned. We'll have exclusive footage from the Rastafari International Conference right here on the Lion Voice Network. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We are trying to get to 50 people in our Patreon, 50 paid subscribers a month. When we get to 50, we're going to start to vote. Every month, we're going to choose a different Rastafari cause to give a monetary contribution, as well as interviews to highlight their work. So that is what we're going to start doing in the Lion Pride. When we hit 50 people, we need 15 more people in the Lion Pride. So become a monthly subscriber. We're going to have our town hall meeting on the 24th of August. So become a member of the Patreon. We are building a powerhouse to change Rastafari with action. So if you want to come off of the fence and you want to work and you want to see progress, join us on the battlefield. We are here, we are ready, and we are doing the work. People, this is the ending, but it's not the ending of the works, just of this show. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the lion voice. Rastafari.
Rastafari. Blessed love. Blessed love.
Blessed love.
Yes, sir, you're listening to
Allah.
Lion's Voice. And I is Dejazmatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, man, bring it to your Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, aya. Look how we work together, aya. Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empressment and bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rastafari, I hear you. Love, aye.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega, representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, yeah. Them fully guard up and them quick fi execute, yeah. Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, yeah. The one will laugh, I'm same one of the shooter. Watching them, this is Rasta Jai representing for the Lion Voice Network. This is the time when the lion gets to tell our own story. Haile Selassie.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Greetings, this is Ras Tafari. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Ras Tafari said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.